Hey friends. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? Hey Amber. Amber, I have a yes, the magician. This is up to you. The lovers is also here. Hey Margaret, how are you? Just a quick reminder for tonight, the donation list close in about an hour. And tonight I will not be doing a giveaway because it's a limited live stream. Margaret. I'm getting a yes. 4 of Wands. This talks about moving or having a home, finding a home, something like that. Amy, I am getting a yes. Justice. He knows the truth. He knows how you feel. Nat, I am getting a yes. It might take some time, but you're going to get that stability. 9 of Cups. We also have the Empress here. So, like, you becoming a wife, if that's what you choose. And I see overall just, like, your wish or what you want is coming true for you. Hey, James. Welcome in. Hi, Terry. You're welcome, Margaret. Philomena, I just got your donation. Thank you. Okay, Sophie. Will Dee still come see Sophie this year? I'm still leaning towards a yes, Sophie. I have the World and the Strength card. Wow, James, I gotta know. I still think it's a maybe, but I gotta know. I have the 2 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. 7 of Cups. Feels like contemplations, but we'll go with the no. Alright. Dr. Fiza. Dr. Fiza, I gotta know the moon. You're welcome, Amy. You're welcome, Nat. You're welcome, Sophie. So Earth Angel, I'm getting a Eight of Swords and Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a yes, that you're on the right spiritual path, but they are saying there's some parts of yourself that you're not addressing the way that you should. That will allow for proper healing for yourself. Oh, I just cut the deck and I got the Tower. So this is something that you might have been avoiding, or maybe something that you suspect has happened, but potentially your brain has like blocked it from your memory or something like that. But there's more digging that needs to happen here for you, Earth Angel. Nisha, I am getting a yes. King of Swords. This indicates his decision was based off of his head over his heart. So he didn't allow for maybe guilt or emotions to interfere with his decision. I do feel that he knows he hurt your feelings, though. Oh my gosh, Smiley. Wow, are you doing okay now? You're welcome, Nisha. Smiley, they are saying no, do not give up on this. I have the Five of Cups in the Hanged Man. Maybe don't. I feel like what they're saying is it's coming to you, but don't put all of your hopes into this check, if that makes sense. Like sometimes when we put a lot of focus on getting that, it's weird, but it's like it can slow our ability to receive because we're thinking about it too much or holding on to it too much. So essentially they're saying like let it go as far as anticipating for it, but know that it's coming to you. Smiley, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that. I am glad to hear you're doing better. Table is so squeaky that I'm doing readings on it. It's driving me crazy. You're welcome, Smiley. Galilea. Okay, Galilea. As a yes, no, I have a yes for you. But I have the Four of Cups as the yes. So I don't know if like you're not going to be satisfied with this encounter, if it's not going to live up to your expectations or what, but there's some type of disappointment surrounding this. So yeah, that's what I've got for you, Galileo. Precious, I have yes, Six of Cups. This is the card of holding on to the past. Zoe, I'm getting a yes. Page of Cups. Believe in the impossible. Nat, I almost called you Nat. IJ, I am getting a no. I have the 5 of Cups. Hi, Ashley. Welcome in. Infinity. I have the 10 of Swords in the Sun, so I think yes. What I'm hearing is yes, but not for what you think or not for why you think. Hi, I speak. Welcome in. Ashley, yes, this is a fiery jealousy here. Ace of Wands. Denise, I'm getting a no for that one. The Tower. You're welcome, IJ. Sag girl, there's some sneakiness going on here. 7 of Swords. So you got like some people doing shady things, trying to get away with stuff. So I feel like you guys and your family aren't really handling things above board or directly with one another. So that could be, there could be fallout because of that. Hey, Diamonds. Welcome in. Hey, Irise. Welcome in. Irise, once I get that donation, I'll add you to the list. Money issue. Dang. Okay. Third party situation. So, Irise, the third party situation is so okay, I'm just gonna kind of tell you the overall and you can let me know. So if the third party situation pertains to you and it helps you decide on making a decision for yourself regarding this, then I will do that reading. But I don't do like if someone just wants to be nosy, like I don't do that third party type of reading. So I guess I just want to clarify first that this pertains to you in some way. And then secondly, if you have 2 questions, I always recommend a BOGO. It's $17 to do that. And you get a little bit more detail than if you were to get like 2 mini readings. I rise. That sounds great. So with 2 questions, I would say a BOGO. I can spend a little more time on your reading that way. But you could also do 2 mini readings, which is 16. It's $1 difference. You might get more out of the BOGO. Sag girl, I'm not saying that you're the one being sneaky. I just want to be clear. I'm just saying that there's some underhanded situations going on. Ashley Marie, I got a yes. 6 of Cups. That card talks about reconciliation. It talks about going back to someone. So Ashley Marie, I do feel like you guys will reconnect. 6 of Cups. Irise, that sounds great. Yeah, that's great, Irise. Thank you for doing that. Okay, let me update the donation list. Rising Storm, if you're in here, please check in with me. I'm gonna send a message to Rising Storm, actually. She did a pre-order, so I just want to make sure she knows that I'm going live. I am going to readjust really quickly. I'm on my couch, but I'm just gonna like get some stuff sorted over here. I sent a message to Rising Storm so that she could check in with me. Because she pre-ordered, I'm doing her reading regardless whether or not she's here, but I don't want to wait too long. So then after Rising, we'll have James, and then Philomena, then Smiley, and then I Rise. And then my list will be closing in about 35 minutes or so, so everyone can get their last minute donations in as soon as possible. What is it? Do you see a bug again? All right, Rising Storm, we are shuffling for you right now. We're about to get started on your reading. If you don't show up, I will timestamp your reading after the live stream is done. Ooh, Rising. I think your intuition is on point. I am going to confirm with the pendulum, but give me 1 second while I do that here. So Rising, I am getting a yes to your question. This was him. And I feel like he wanted to come through in a way that he was asking about himself truthfully and honestly, but I think that he just didn't, he wanted like some anonymity. He wanted some way of like having you read that felt very objective, where you didn't know much about him or much about his story. I think as the reading went on, you started to get more information, but I am getting a yes. The reason why I was like, ooh, is because we have the Seven of Swords here, and we also have Judgment. So like this is like making a judgment call. This was something that I think it required your discernment and your intuition to figure out and put two and two together. And then the Seven of Swords talks about doing something like kind of behind the scenes, trying to get away with something. I think, to be completely honest, I don't necessarily think he was hoping you'd find out it was him. I think he just liked the idea of getting a reading and learning more about what it is that you do. I think this is a side of things that he's very interested in. I think he doesn't know a lot about it, and I think that he just wanted to see firsthand for himself what things felt like. So just from my side of things, Luna talking, I would love to see if you still have that reading, if you could timestamp it. I'd just be interested to kind of see like how the conversation went. But I am getting that it was him. I did confirm with the pendulum. I'm curious too, I know you're not in here, but if he talked about a breakup, or if he talked about dealing with some type of aftermath regarding a breakup, because I have the Three of Swords here as well. And we also have the Ten of Pentacles. So something about maybe looking for maybe more true, grounded, healthy relationship is what I'm getting here. But again, I did confirm with the pendulum and got a yes that this was him. So you said that if it is him, you want to know. So I'm going to skip over the feelings question, and we're going to move on to the second part that you want to know if it was confirmed. All right, so second question. How is he feeling about the reading? Let's see. He's looking at this very analytically, Rising. He seems to be the kind of person where he wants to debunk everything. Like he wants to prove something is not real as often as he can. So he came to this reading very like analytically, very logically. Like he basically is saying, I'm not a naive type of person. I'm not very, what is the word? I guess naive is a good answer. He's just he's saying I don't get fooled very easily. So as he enters into this reading, he's saying, I'm interested, I want to learn, I'm here for knowledge, I'm here to better understand what it is that you do, but I'm also not going to like just believe anything that you say kind of thing. So he's approaching this like King of Swords very much like here to observe and learn. But I don't know if he necessarily was prepared to feel like something resonated with him. So that's how he approached it. How did he feel about this? He definitely relaxed into the reading, I would say. Six of Swords kind of tells me that maybe he came very much like guarded. And then as the reading went on, he realized like this was easier to hear, or easier to experience than maybe what he thought. He thought he was going to have to like kick down all of these, like, I don't know. There's something here where he came just feeling very armed and ready to basically say, oh, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't think that he really understood specifically what tarot is here to do for you. And I think that it was very enlightening. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Spirit. It was very enlightening to him through this reading, what it felt like to hear, like, what it is you had to say about his situation. I think that you might have provided some positive information during this reading, because I am seeing happiness with what it is that he heard. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which a lot of times can talk about like receiving the benefits of your hard work, like success. And we also have the Four of Wands. So there might have been like a positive indication of like romance, Knight of Cups, Four of Wands, like maybe a solid, stable, healthy relationship you might have mentioned. We also have the High Priestess here. So this talks about intuition, things yet to be revealed. And I'm talking to you, Rising, as if you don't know the meaning of the cards, but bear with me. I feel like this is something that he can't really put his finger on, but he's saying this actually did resonate with me. And I think that he was pleasantly surprised, because he came in ready to like say, oh, this isn't real, or this isn't going to help me in any way, this isn't going to help me better understand my situation. And I think he walked away feeling like, wow, actually I learned something, and that actually taught me a little bit about myself. So I think that he's saying, I can't really put my finger on it, but it did impact me. It did influence me. It did make me look at things a little bit differently. And I think that he walked away feeling like that was a really nice feeling. He keeps talking about love and relationships here. Just to reiterate, I have the Four of Wands and the Knight of Cups, but also the Two of Cups just came out with the Sun. So I feel like whatever it is you said to him, it feels positive. Like it feels like you said something good about his love life, something good that he wanted to hear. Anything else? Anything else? It sounds like he's been kind of having some anxiety over his love life. Which no surprise there, but I think he might have actually gone into this reading feeling a bit nervous. The card Nine of Swords didn't come out, but it kept like trying to flip over when I was shuffling. And so that makes me feel like there was a little bit of worry about what he would hear or what you would say. And also I think generally there's like this worry inside of himself about like what a future relationship for himself would be like. But yeah, that's what I've got for you, Rising. Hopefully you enjoyed that reading. Next up, we have James. So James, if you are here, please check in. I Rise. What I just did, I'm calling you out because you got a BOGO. What I just did for Rising is what a BOGO is like. So it goes pretty in depth. I pull quite a few cards. And like, you know, you donate a little extra, so I'll go a little more in depth for you. Okay, so James is here, love option 2. Too many readings. Okay. The donation list is going to close in about 30 minutes, so anyone else that wants to make a donation, I would encourage you to get in as soon as possible. Remember, just as a future rule of thumb, I announce on Instagram when I'm going live, and you guys can always do a pre-order. Pre-orders, you are immune to skips, which is really nice because if someone pays to skip the line, then they can't jump ahead of you. All right. Love option 2 for James and Patty. James, I'm trying to understand this card on the overall energy, and I am going to pull confirmation, but really quickly, I see the 5 of Wands. This has to do with like the throat chakra as well. Maybe needing to express yourself in a certain way, but it does have like an undertone of conflict. You guys are getting along right now, right? Everything's going okay? How accurate are my readings? New to your channel. Well, Water Sparkles, I am working on developing my website right now. My Etsy shop is pretty much on pause at the moment, but you are more than welcome to take a look at my reviews and see what people have to say there, but I'll have more reviews on my website once I get them. And I'm not doing orders through Etsy right now, but if you like what you see, like what you hear, you can send me a payment via Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. And then anybody else that's in the chat that would like to speak on my behalf, feel free to do so. I feel like I'm pretty accurate, but Smiley, I got this question. You're so funny. Okay, sorry to interrupt your reading, James. Let's go back to what I was saying here. 20 out of 10. Water Sparkles, I'm so sorry to hear that. God, that's rough. That's a lot of money to get scammed on it. I apologize that that happened to you. Thank you, Smiley. That's so sweet of you. Okay. So James, I have here the 5 of Wands as the overall energy, and I'm very drawn to this card right now because I'm trying to understand it. So you can clarify with me, confirm either way. But I'm going to keep going here. 5 of Wands. Why is the 5 of Wands here? The Fool. Overall energy. Okay, so this is talking, James, about transitions. So think of it as like you guys have aligned and now you guys are moving into, I guess, the next phase. I always view like alignment as like when things start to sync up, and I'm sure we have many points of alignment in our life, but this is kind of showing me that where this is syncing up for you is that now you guys are in this like when we align, okay, this is a great image. Thank you, Spirit. So when we align, imagine that a door appears in front of you and Patty. Every time you guys align, a door appears in front of you guys. This is so beautiful. I've never really thought of this. And you guys are holding hands and you walk through the door. And now you're on the other side of a new life now that you guys have aligned with one another. And walking through that threshold, walking through that door is the transition between how things were and how things are going to be. So I feel like with this overall energy is that you guys are going through that transition right now. You guys have aligned, but there's like that transition and you guys are like almost there. So I feel like what Spirit has to say, this is actually so beautiful. I love this so much. But what Spirit has to say is that this door has appeared in front of you guys. So it's just a matter of you guys walking through it. That's what it feels like to me. And the Fool here indicates like the new start of a journey. So maybe there's some internal struggle between you both to get there, to like take that step. Maybe it's like you think you're ready and then you're not so sure. Maybe there's some conflict going on there with that. So if there's not any like outer conflict, maybe it's like this nervousness to like speak, because I mentioned the throat chakra for some reason. So or maybe like feeling like, okay, it's too soon, maybe I'm not ready, maybe it's not time yet, something along those lines. But Spirit is saying the door is in front of you guys, you just have to walk through it. And from now on, I will be talking about alignment in this way because I really like this metaphor. So what she's showing or giving the connection, I do have the Six of Wands. This card always comes with this feeling of like appreciation and acknowledgement and wanting to make sure you know that you are not being taken advantage of. She wants you to know that you are important to her and that she wants to make sure that you feel special, you feel acknowledged, you feel appreciated. I see here actually her intentions are the Fool as well. So it feels like to me that she kind of wants to see what's next. Maybe she's feeling like it's time to embark on a new beginning with you. Let's see here. Thoughts and feelings, thoughts and feelings. So not to kind of beat a dead horse, but I do still see here, and it probably makes sense because I think I just did this reading last night for you, that there's still like this conflict within herself of like, I regret that I didn't allow space for our connection sooner, but at the same time, I don't want to be too hard on myself about it. So I'm just trying to forgive who I was in that moment when I made those decisions and move on. But she does kind of work against herself at times, because I think that she does kind of regret sometimes the way that she's gone about this with you, but she's just trying to learn from it and move on. But she can sometimes we have a really hard time with like forgiving ourselves and absolving ourselves, and I think that that's kind of what she's struggling with right now. But I see here with the Ace of Pentacles, James, that her feelings for you is to accept your offer or give you an offer. Like the Ace of Pentacles talks about like wanting to offer you, I'm trying to think of like the word that feels right to me to explain what I'm feeling. I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles, she's saying, I want to give you something real. That's what it feels like to me. Influences or blocks. Let's see. So I asked if there's blocks. I'm not really getting influence. And typically your path is pretty clear, James, but there's something about an influence or block that points to the past. I have the Six of Cups and the Sun. So maybe there's a hurdle when it comes to inner child stuff or something that happened when we were children, or maybe there's a theme surrounding children that can be perceived as a block for your connection right now, or an influence over the connection that may, or like a theme that is coming up for you guys at this time. But yeah, that is what I've got, James. Let me know if you have any questions about that, and if you're ready, you can post your mini readings. Water Sparkles, I'm sorry I'm a little late on your message. You sound amazing. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, definitely check out my reviews. I have some more that I'll be posting on a website. My website is currently under construction, but so I wouldn't really be able to like give you more information on that just yet. Okay, James. Let's see. Oh, Myrtle Beach go for James. Oh, Myrtle Beach go for James and Patty. Holiday romance. I'm getting holiday romance here. Very energetic, exciting, hard work paying off. I feel like, I don't know, now I'm getting back in the like groove of that this Myrtle Beach thing might actually be able to work. I don't know if you've gotten like a yes or no from her yet, but I see with the Eight of Wands, it means like good news. It means like things are moving again, and it doesn't seem, things like the energy's like picking up again when it comes to this trip. So yeah, I'm not sure if you've gotten word from her yet whether or not you guys will be actually able to do this, but I'm getting that it might happen. It might actually happen. So I also have the World here. First thoughts that I have is progress, accomplishment, success, you getting what it is that you want. But initial thoughts also indicate to me a lot of intimacy happening on this trip, like spending a lot of time in bed together. Lots of intimate moments. You can fill in the blanks there. I feel like it's like something that happens a lot. Like it's like multiple times a day, or like every single day, or something like that. The World here also indicates like satisfaction, physical and emotional health between the two of you as well. I feel like the trip is going to be a success, and it's going to start well, be good during the trip itself, and then it's also going to end well. Aisha, hey there. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. I'm actually not doing free questions anymore. I'm working on donations at the moment, but I go live pretty much every single day, Wednesday through Sunday. Feel free to come back another night. Make sure that you're here early. How will Myrtle Beach go for Patty and James? Chariot, feels like you guys actually have a direction. It feels like focus. It feels like single-mindedness. So lots of messages here indicating success, accomplishment, and progress. I just want to be very clear about that. The Chariot also indicates that you guys have a clear sense of direction of where your relationship is heading during the Myrtle Beach trip. So if you wait until then to, I feel like basically you either know going into this trip where you guys stand together in a relationship, or you leave the trip knowing where this relationship is headed. It feels like very certain. It feels like no obstacles are stopping you as well. Let me see. We have the number 7 here. I don't know if that's important. We also have 21 or 3. This is mutual efforts, equal efforts between the two of you. What you give to her, she gives back, and vice versa. Queen of Pentacles, she's feeling like your woman during this trip. She feels valued. Lots of gratitude, feeling very grateful on this trip. What does the relationship look like for the rest of the year? What does the relationship look like for the rest of the year? God. You guys have a lot of sexual energy between you. I'm getting like sexual adventures. Lots of like, when I say energy, I don't, because I use that word a lot. In this particular thing, I mean like enthusiastic, energetic, lively. Like that's what I mean when I say energy. And that's what it feels like. I feel like there's passion between the two of you. We have the Chariot here again. So I think that the rest of the year, I think once you guys, if you haven't already, again, James, we haven't really talked. I don't really know like the status of how things are going for you right now. But I feel like if once you make, whenever that happens, even if it's already happened, once you make that level of commitment, once you guys walk through that door, whenever that is, it does feel like you can kind of breathe a little bit and you can say, okay, now I know we have a future. Now I know that we're both on the same page. And it's not just this like feeling, it's this knowing. The Chariot talks about like you guys have a clear sense of direction of where this connection is headed. And that feels really good. That feels very safe for you. So you can look forward to a lot of feeling safe and secure in your relationship for the rest of the year. Because you kind of know where you stand in her life and she knows where you stand, and you guys are making plans together for whatever that means and considering one another in those situations. I'm hearing courage for some reason. Courage and strength. There's a lot of soul searching and introspection, looking deeper, that happens within your relationship. So you can expect a lot of spiritual growth as well, maybe even personal development that happens during this connection throughout the rest of the year. I see the desire to make one another a priority is important. And I think it's something mutual that you guys want to make sure that you do, because you know that nothing's going to grow if you don't water it. You have to make sure that you're putting effort into one another just as much as the other person is. And we can't let relationships be on the back burner. This is a feeling that I'm getting right now of like it's going to require some adjustments, but everything goes pretty smoothly overall. Six of Swords indicates that things get easier as time goes on. And I feel like it's just a matter of navigating through this new normal that you guys will be having together for the rest of the year. It seems like you guys are in connection or in communication. Things are getting easier for your relationship. Nothing crazy. I don't see like any kind of the T word that everyone hates, the T word in tarot. There's a specific T card that people don't like. I don't see that. Not even gonna put it out there. To me, it just feels like continual progress. It feels like things, as more time goes on, things just start to get easier and easier. And I think that we can be confident in that because that is how things have gone in the past. So you can relate to your history together as having faith that that is what will happen, because as time goes on, things continue to get easier for your relationship. And I think that's how it's going to continue, that trend, that trajectory. Maybe even like getting closer to one another. I think through that introspection and personal development, I think that it helps strengthen your bond as well. James, let me know if you have any follow-up question to that. We have about 8 minutes left and I will be closing the list. Philomena, if you're here, you can post your question. Next after Philomena is Smiley. So Smiley, if you're here, you can get your question prepped and ready to go, or you can post it if you prefer to do that. This is for Philomena. All right, Philomena. Should I give me and Daniel's connection a chance? Should Philomena give their connection a chance? Her and Daniel. Hey, Smiley, thank you for checking in. So Philomena, what I'm being shown is that you shouldn't. I have a no, the 5 of Cups. What they're showing me is that you've come a very long way over this last period of time. However long it's been that you and Daniel have kind of been maybe on and off, or I don't know if this is like a longer period of separation, but essentially what they're saying is that you've grown a lot, you've changed a lot, and that you have evolved, and that there's a dream in your heart of what you want the relationship to look like, but it's not here for you. It's not this is not the place that you're going to get that. Your dream in your heart about what you want a relationship to look like, it doesn't lie with Daniel. It lies somewhere else with someone else. I see here with the 9 of Pentacles is that you're kind of doing your own thing. They're saying you could go back to this person, but your happiness is not here with this person, that you are going to feel unsatisfied. And maybe there's like this feeling of wanting to see it through, wanting to give it every last bit of effort with this person. But unfortunately, I think that you'll fall into a cycle if you do. I feel like frustration, dissatisfaction, and eventually you will be walking away from this person. That's how this is going to end. Even if this person comes back and says they've done a lot of growth, they've done a lot of healing, it's okay. This is not your person, is what it feels like to me. It's telling, like, I feel like I'm getting the message of there's a lot of sadness here, heartbreak. The change that this person has gone through isn't enough, and that you've come such a long way just to go back now is what they're showing. I feel very strongly to just reiterate the message that there's a dream in your heart of what you want your relationship to look like, and it's not, this person's not going to be the one to give it to you. And that if you open yourself up to this person again, you will be disappointed. If you open yourself up, you will be putting yourself back into a pattern of dissatisfaction and frustration. And just ultimately, this person's always going to fall short for you. And because you have evolved, because you have changed, you have so much accomplishment, Philomena. There's so much that you have been able to achieve on your own, and we need to give you a little bit more credit for the success that you've had, and he had no part in that. And you have to find someone who's going to basically put themselves first the way that you have lately, and they have their own successes and they have their own achievements, and someone that's going to kind of match where you're at now. It's almost like if you open yourself up to this relationship, you're just going to be going backwards. Like, they're saying it's not going to do you well. This person's not going to add value to your life the way that you have been adding value to your life. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the message that I'm getting here. And they're saying ultimately you will not be happy, even if you are in the beginning, even if you're happy to reconnect with this person. And maybe it feels nice in the beginning, it is going to end the same, because they're saying this is not your person. This person's not the one for you. I hope that makes sense. Sophie's gonna donate. Okay, that sounds good. Luna, I'm gonna see if my donation goes through. Let me see. I haven't gotten any donations recently. Once they come through, I will let you guys know. Smiley, you can post your question if you're ready. Philomena, I feel like my stomach is like doing flips because I don't like sharing that kind of information. I want to give you guys a lot of hope if I can. And I know that you have a strong connection with this person, but I think you need to do what you feel is best in your heart. And if you feel like you're not ready to move on from this person, then you have to see it through to the end. But if you're asking for my opinion, this reading is just indicating that you're going to end up sad again, like dissatisfied. Like, this person's not going to live up to your expectations. All right, guys, one more minute to donate before I close the list. I actually have to find my phone. Oh, there it is. It's okay, Amy, no worries. And just a reminder for those of you who are still on my donation list, even if my list is closed, you are free to add on to your reading. If I'm not able to do that, I will always let you guys know, but I typically will honor add-ons from people that are on my list. So, Sophie, did you donate for a yes no question? Yeah, Amy, I should be on tomorrow. But sorry, to finish what I was saying, I will allow for add-ons. Like if you guys want to add on to your reading if you're already on my list, that's totally fine. But if you're not on my list, the list is closed and we cannot add on any longer. Whoops. All right. So Smiley says, I want to ask about my spiritual side today. Well, my eyes are closed, trying to sleep. I've been seeing images not very clear as day, but like different faces popping in and out. And hear a sound in my ear. It's not static, maybe a different type of static. Smiley, your intuition is leveling up 100%. You are maybe tapping more into your psychic side. This happens to me, and I'm laughing because this exact same thing happens to me. You said then, for example, been seeing my daughter's dead girlfriend name on buildings for a month now, and she wanted to talk to me the other day. We did speak. So, as far as like, sometimes I don't know how to explain it, but your body knows things before your brain does, or like your body knows things are going to happen before they actually happen. And so that's why you can randomly think of someone and suddenly you get a message from them, or you can dream about them and then they call you, or they can suddenly just be in your awareness. Their name or something like that can just suddenly be in your awareness and they reach out to you. So that is more so just the universe preparing you in a sense, or trying to validate that you are having, in a roundabout way, predictions that people are going to communicate with you. It's interesting how these messages come through, but if we're more aware of them, if we're more present to them, the more we will see them. So really quickly, I'm going to pull some cards for you on this, but I want to let you know that your experience is not abnormal. It's definitely something that happens to a lot of people, so you're not alone in that. So is this really happening to Smiley? So I'm going to tell you a funny story, Smiley, after I do your reading. So you're going to feel like you're not crazy, okay? So what they're telling me, Smiley, is that this is something you used to be able to do when you were a kid. They're saying that maybe something has happened. There's been some kind of like breaking through a threshold in some way in your current life. And I feel like Spirit may be trying a little bit harder to communicate with you, but they're saying this is something you've always been able to do. It's something that has always happened to you, but maybe you've blocked this out at some point in your life. But they're saying that you're returning to your roots, you're getting more grounded, and things are becoming more aware. And they're saying that when you were a kid, in your youth, this was something that would happen to you, maybe even stronger. Now, they're here showing Five of Wands and a King of Cups. I'm trying to remember. No, I can't remember. I'm struggling to remember our readings, but they're saying like conflict with the parent. They're saying the Five of Wands struggle, conflict with a parental figure or an issue there could have been what blocked this for you, not being able to express it. Sometimes when we deal with like childhood trauma, or like sometimes like for instance for me in particular, you said I sure don't remember as kids things like this happening. It was something that you might have like blocked out. And a lot of times we block out these abilities through trauma. And it's really sad that it happens, but our abilities weren't nurtured as children. And so unfortunately, we kind of grow up and forget that it's something that we can do. They are saying you are incredibly emotionally intelligent. They are saying that the happier your life becomes, the more stable, more grounded, the more you figure your life out and overcome challenges, the more this will happen to you if you want it to. This is not something, okay, Sophie, that sounds great. This is not something that you have to subject yourself to. You can ask for it to stop. You can basically tell your brain or your channeling, like, this is not something I want to do. Like, for example, my mom is very clairvoyant. She can see things, and she doesn't want to access that part of herself, so she suppresses it. She says like, I don't want it. I don't want any part of it. So, and that's fine. You can shut it off if you want to. But it's there. And if it is something that you want to access, you can. Now, unfortunately, I can't say, if you want to, be like me and be a channeler and be a reader, this crazy shit's going to happen to you like this. It's just a part of allowing yourself to open up. So recently, I will say at night, a lot of the times when I'm like, smiley, confirm for me, but what it is like when you're falling asleep. It's like when you're in that like place of just before completely losing consciousness and going to sleep, that's when these visions will start to happen. And that's a form of meditation. And I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been Einstein, but I'm not positive. I have to look up the person that did this because I talk about this a lot. But essentially in that moment of just before you fall asleep is where you can access like the collective consciousness. And that is probably why you have all these visions and view all these things during that time. And there's a specific person, I'll look it up and I'll let you know, but he would hold like a pen in his hand and he would allow himself to fall asleep. And as soon as he was losing consciousness and falling into a sleep, his hand would naturally open up, the pen would fall on the floor, and it would make a loud sound and it would wake him up. And he did this intentionally because whenever he was stumped with like a formula or an equation or something like that, he said that's where inspiration is. That's where your answers are, is during that time just before you fall asleep. So this is why this happens to you, and it happens to a lot of people. You don't have to subject yourself to this. You can train yourself. You can even tell your brain to like stop it. But as far as like the static sounds, that's incredibly like, it's incredibly real. I've had dreams where I've heard that static in my ears, and I've had what I believe one of my spirit guides, which is like a Native American spirit guide, come through. I could hear his accent. He was speaking to me in, I believe it was my left ear. And I feel like I woke up from that dream and him saying like, this is how I'm going to come to you in the future. This is how I'm going to communicate with you. And that was really crazy. But the most interesting thing that happened was last week our fan broke in our room and I can't sleep without the sound of a fan. But whenever white noise is around me or it happens, I feel like I can hear things that aren't actually there. And we used my air purifier because it had a similar buzzing sound as a fan so that I could sleep better. But I kept hearing music. And it's not the first time I've heard it in this house. This is actually the only time I've heard it was in this house. And at one point, I think it was like the first year we were here, I heard like angelic music. And then the second time I heard, it almost sounded like there was a concert outside of my house. And imagine like a distant concert where you can kind of hear the melody and you can hear the sound and you can hear the bass, but you can't really hear the words, but you can kind of make out like what it sounds like. And to me, I thought that I feel like I was going crazy because I wouldn't be thinking about it and suddenly I would just start hearing it. And it sounds insane to the point where I was turning the air purifier off and I'm like looking outside, like is someone blasting music, what's going on? And I think that there's something here that um when you're diluting a sound or a sensory, it heightens the other areas. So in the dark, you can't see anything. It heightens your ability to see things. When you have white noise, it helps your ability to hear things. It's like that's why there's a lot of mediums that actually will go in sensory deprivation containers to try to get more information. So that's my long way of saying you're not crazy. This is what happens to people. And if they want, they can dive deeper into it. And if they don't have to. But so I want to know the difference between me and spirit thoughts. Like, how can no one tell the difference and know? Wait, I'm so confused. So I want to know the difference between me and spirit thoughts. Like, how can one tell the difference and how to know what I'm seeing is true? So, Smiley, for me in particular, I will let you know, and we can definitely talk about this, but whenever I'm thinking with my brain, then I know that it's my own thought. Whenever it's spirit communicating with me, it comes out of nowhere. It literally catches me off left field. Like you'll hear me talk sometimes where I'll be on this tangent and then suddenly it just shifts and suddenly I'm like, "Oh, okay. This is what I'm getting now," because I think in my brain, in my ego, that I'm going in one direction interpreting something and the guidance comes literally out of nowhere. And you might notice it if you're offering advice to a friend, for example. You might be trying to speak a lot of love into that person and offer some sage wisdom or guidance. And maybe you're saying something and not necessarily sure where you're going with it, but you're well intentioned, and suddenly you sound like incredibly wise. Suddenly, inspiration comes out of nowhere and you relate that to that person. And you're like, wow, where did that come from? That didn't feel like it came from me, but it must have because that was really fucking smart. And then you're like, but was it from me? I'm not sure. Sometimes divine knowledge and inspiration comes out of nowhere. And it's like when you're not thinking about it, it's like when you're that's how I can explain it. If you're thinking about it, it's from you. And if it comes out of nowhere or you're not anticipating it or not expecting it or not trying for it to happen and it does, that's spirit. And spirit you're going to feel in your gut. Spirit is going to make you feel calm and light. And yourself, your fear, your ego, your brain is going to speak to you in ways of like fear and self-protection and self-preservation. So if something comes out of nowhere and you're like, wow, that was divine inspiration, that is spirit. And if it's something that you think of yourself or you're forcing yourself to see or say or think about, then that is yourself. It doesn't mean that it's any less wise. It doesn't mean it's any less psychic, but you want to know the difference between spirit and yourself, and it's when things happen suddenly that you're not expecting. You said, oh wow, a song will play in my head. Hold on, let me say, I rise, you can post your question. Okay. A song will play out in my head out of nowhere, but from understanding, I suppose, to hear and see it's in front of me. Mine just be like a thought and very faded. So, Smiley, that has happened to me a couple of times before as well. Like when I'm dreaming, I can actually hear like a full song that doesn't actually exist in real life. And so I'll wake up and like leave voice notes on my phone because I'm not a writer, or sorry, I'm not a singer, but I'm like, this was given to me for a reason. And sometimes it'll happen randomly while I'm awake as well. So I definitely can relate to a lot of stuff that you're. Thank you, Sophie. It was Thomas Edison. Thank you. Did you look that up, Sophie, or is that something that you knew? Sleep was a waste of time. So yeah, Thomas Edison, it was an experiment that he did. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm going to keep that in mind because I think that's my biggest challenge right now is interpreting. So yeah, Smiley, definitely like if you feel like you're trying to think of it or you feel like you're forcing yourself to get a vision or a message, then it's not it. It's when you're falling asleep and suddenly a vision pops in and you're like, "Oh, that was kind of crazy." And you're like, I wasn't intentionally trying to think of that, but suddenly it just appeared in front of my face. That spirit coming in, trying to give you information. But Smiley, it sounds like maybe you're on the fence. You're not sure if this is something that you want to develop further or not. And I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you don't want to, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just let it be, let it go, let it pass. The more energy you give to it, the more it's going to happen. So, yeah. Okay, Smiley, I'm glad that I was able to help you. Oh, I did, Sophie? Oh my god, that's so funny. Thank you. I'm sure I looked it up at that time. I'm sure I Googled it. You want to, you prayed for it. Okay, you're welcome, Smiley. Have a good night. Okay, so interesting, we're talking about dreams. So Ira said, I had a dream about my child's father, Tyler Gemini, and his baby mama, Ari. Sag was in my dream. I want to know the truth. I am Taurus Sun, Scorpio Moon. In the dream, I told Ari that he had options and that he had a pattern. And Tyler was confessing feelings about Ari to me in the dream. Oh, that's awesome, Smiley. Yeah, thank you, Sophie. Okay, so I Rise wants to know the truth. So I Rise, in your dream, Tyler was confessing feelings to you about Ari, and you want to know if this dream is true, or is there something in particular that you want to know about this, just so I know how to like approach this question. And I always thought my gifts can be another form I help others. Yes, definitely, definitely. That's why I run to you. I love seeing you work. Thank you, Smiley, even if you're just listening. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you for saying that. I get inspired, I think, sharing the things that I have learned or my experiences that I've gone through. It gets me excited too when I see relatable things, like when people have gone through similar things, because then I'm like, yes, it's not just me. Okay, so I Rise, shuffling for you now. Okay, I Rise wants to know the truth. Does Tyler... Got you, I Rise. Does Tyler have feelings for Ari? Does Tyler have feelings for Ari? Does Tyler have feelings for Ari? So, I Rise, a question I have for you is, clearly this dream impacted you in a deep way. Good night, Smiley. Good night. Now it sits with you, and I can tell that this dream is still kind of stuck with you since you've had it. When you wake up from it, if you can think back did it immediately instill a sense of fear and worry and anxiety in you? Or did it feel validating, maybe concerning, but also like you think it might be possible? Because, and also like, how did you feel when you woke up? Did you feel like fear in your chest? Did you feel it was clarity? So like, it's very important, I rise, validating. Okay, that is spirit. I'm letting you know right now, whenever you feel that clarity and validating, that is spirit coming to you, trying to help you understand a situation. I feel like your intuition already knows what is not being said out loud. And I am getting a yes on my end. I'm going to clarify with the pendulum really quickly here. Oh, wow. Yeah, I am getting a yes. I feel like you have this deep inner knowing that is trying to protect you right now and trying to, you said your dreams are typically accurate. That's also really important to consider, because some dreams for me, I can tell, oh, I dreamt this because I watched this TV show the other day. Or, oh, I dreamt this because we were just talking about it. You know what I mean? Or I dreamt of this person because they just randomly messaged me. I can decipher what is my psyche versus what feels actually true versus what is my fear regarding the situation. I've gotten very clear determining why I would have a dream like this and understanding it better. I'm pretty much don't ever question my dreams unless they're super, super wild and weird. Then I might like look up some symbolism. But I've gotten very intimate with my dreams and understanding what feels like an actual message that I need to pay attention to. It's when the dreams feel extremely real that I know this is not something to just like overlook. And I feel for you that this dream was incredibly real to you, and so real actually that you're speaking out loud, right? So it feels almost like it's your waking life and your dream life kind of merging into one situation. And for you, I feel like it's you feeling like, okay, this is confirmation, this is what I needed. This is what I needed to hear, see, or know, something along those lines. And I feel like you are right. I do feel like he has feelings for this person. Now, we can go a little bit further here, and I'm not sure what your second question was or is, but I'm happy to look into essentially what am I trying to say? Further clarify for this question if there are enough feelings, if they're basically like, who does he have stronger feelings for? If that's something that you wanted to know, are you wanting to know if he plans on acting on these feelings or if he's planning on staying with you? You are currently pregnant, I rise. Okay, got you, got you. He's already the father to one of your children. Okay, let's see. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, let's go further. Does he plan on acting on these feelings with Ari? Oh my goodness. Does he plan on acting on these feelings with Ari? All right, I am getting 3 no's right now. I'm getting no, no, no. I also have the Five of Swords here. I've got 4 no's, okay? That he does not currently intend to act on these feelings for her. I want to see if these are residual feelings left over maybe from the past that he's having a hard time processing. All right, so I am getting that these are residual feelings. These are not new feelings. That's important for you to know. He abandoned me and my daughter for 3.5 years. She's only 4. Had Ari pregnant during the same time, but yet was in her life and that child. Yeah, I don't feel like he has any current intentions on acting on this with her. But what I fear for you, I rise, is that cycles. Past conditioning affecting present behavior. I'm seeing with the moon here, deception, things are not what they seem. Maybe he's being a little too vague. He's not being direct enough with you, and it's causing for concern. It says the path may not be clear, but your intuition lights the way. I feel like maybe you're worried about just like putting yourself back in the same situation and like fear of the past repeating itself potentially. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's like the energy that I'm getting here. How does he feel for I Rise? How does Tyler feel for I Rise? Is he not happy with the pregnancy? I'm getting here 5 of Cups, sadness, disappointment, versus the Empress. So either he's not happy with the pregnancy or he will be very devastated if you consider ending the pregnancy. There's something here talking about a loss, losing you. But I see his whole world is about to be knocked on its axis because the Tower is also here. So that indicates like a lot of, okay, got you. Yeah, I think that he thinks he's gonna lose you and or the baby here with the 5 of Cups and the Empress. So maybe there's a sadness. If you make this decision, this will affect him. He'll feel grief or something like that. But it could also indicate that he wasn't happy to hear the news. So I'm not exactly sure how to decipher this because it's the 5 of Cups and the Empress. So either like he's not as happy as he is letting on about the pregnancy, or he is and he's going to experience great grief when you make the decision that you intend on making. And in addition to that, he's worried about losing you. But I see here that the Tower indicates separation, sudden change. I think that you making this decision that you're about to make is going to completely like rock his world and not in a good way. The more you think about it, what he has done, the more it infuriates you. Like he wants to trap you with a baby. A lot of people will use that as a sense of control. I see a lot of chaos happening here in the near future. And by chaos, I mean just like everything's gonna blow up. I see him feeling separated from you. We have the 5 of Pentacles. So he is not going to receive this news well that you plan on separating from him. And I think it's going to affect his life negatively. Is he living with you? Is he like staying with you or living with you? Because there's something here about being out on his own or having to like pick up the pieces and not have anybody's help. He has so many situations lingering with multiple women, especially emotionally and sexually. Yep. So I think that he might be trying to secure himself by being with you, he has a place to stay. And I think this is going to completely, I mean, I feel like karma is coming in for this man very fucking strong. Like the Tower and the Five of Pentacles is crazy. He's deceptive and chaotic, won't accept that I don't want him or another baby with him. Oh wow. He has so many situations lingering and multiple women. He was staying with me, but then domestic violence didn't happen and he's been gone since. Okay. Yeah, wow, I rise. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I feel like, I don't know how this validates you, but he definitely feels down on his luck right now. But you can rest easy knowing that unfortunately he's probably going to latch on to someone else and try to put them in the same situation, but it won't be your problem anymore. Because, you know, the Tower talks about chaos, destruction, trauma, disaster, loss, tragedy, separation, abuse, violence. Like, this card just honestly talks about everything just blowing up. Yeah, I rise. That's definitely not who you want to be in a relationship with. And yeah, that's rough, but wow. I'm proud of you for seeing it for what it is, getting that confirmation you needed tonight to hear what you needed to hear. But I think deep down you already knew. But I'm glad that I could help you with that confirmation that you may be needing to hear. But if you're ready, I am good to start shuffling for your second part of your BOGO if you want to get that question posted. I was playing with him. He said he should. I'm not going to put that on the screen. He said he should combine his home with all the kids he has, and he called Ari. Wow. Ari was talking about her dynamic with some guy, and he compared himself to that guy. Oh, 100% I rise. There's definite jealousy there. Absolutely. But it also, and that's also weird, right? That's a weird thing to do. Weird thing to do. Is to compare yourself to someone else's lover. Like, does that make you question and go, okay, what's going on there? Why would you do that? If you didn't care, then you wouldn't make a comment like that. So clearly you have invested interest in this. Wow. That's crazy. All I can say is my daughter was 2, now she's 9. She's doing good with or without her dad. I moved on. I'm so sorry. It's really touched me. Oh, Sophie. You both are super women for sure. I know it's not easy to get out of a situation like that, and all I have to say is do it for the kids. Like, get out for the kids. I don't have that kind of relationship. I'm sure that I would have if I stayed in past situations, but luckily I broke up with a lot of those people. But I was a child of that kind of situation, and just really proud of my mom for getting us out. Usually when kids go through divorce, it's like one of the most devastating things ever to be a child of divorce, because you don't want your parents to separate. But me as a kid, I was grateful. Like, I remember thinking, everyone's like, oh my god, are you okay? Like, your parents got divorced. I'm like, I'm great. I'm amazing. I am so happy they got a divorce. And maybe I was just wise beyond my years, but I was always appreciative of my mom for getting out. Yeah, that was weird to me. It seemed like it's more to his story. May I use the second reading to look deeper? Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. That dream really has me thinking, and he doesn't make it easy to leave. He acts like a maniac. Oh wow, you know, I never I never saw that movie. Isn't it a movie? It's like it turns dangerous or something. Yeah. Yeah. I won't say. Oh, I say I don't want him because he becomes violent and aggressive. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, I was happy. I was like, shoot. I was 7, I think. I was like 7 years old. And they're like, do you want to talk about it? I'm like, the time to talk about it was when they were still together, not now. All right, let's look deeper into the situation. What does Irise need to know about him? So they're showing the world, and to me, the world is the last step before a new life. They're saying that you have a clear sense of direction right now, and you need to get, like, you need to get on board. Like, you have to, like, use that momentum to get yourself out of the situation. They're saying you have a clear head about what is happening, and you need to put your head down, just keep moving forward. Don't get distracted. Don't allow him to convince you otherwise. The Chariot is basically like, I'm gonna be low key, keeping my head down, but I'm getting myself out of the situation. I'm not gonna allow for any distractions or influences get in my way. I'm on a mission and I'm gonna get there. And then the world talks about, this is done. This is done. There's no going back now. We also have the 8 of Cups, which talks about abandonment. So essentially, Spirit is saying you need to abandon him. You need to move on, move forward, and withdraw from his energy. Screamed and told my 4-year-old she has a brother or sister. That's so much. That's, that shows such a lack of maturity as well, to essentially involve a child in a situation to see if it's going to help get someone to sway your way or lean your way. That's such, like, you involving children shows just such a lack of maturity that I can't even begin to, like, fathom. That's crazy. 100% manipulative. Yes, I would never even told her. Yeah. Exactly. And that's exactly why he told her. That's the problem. Is that he knew that you weren't telling her. He thinks that by telling her and making her aware of it is going to influence your decision. That's the bullshit about it all. So I rise. Would you see, the problem is that you let a wolf into your house at this point, and he knows where you live, and you can do all the legal things required to handle the situation. I know you're very strong, and I know that you're not going to let someone kind of like scare you into certain things, but you also have to take in consideration what's smart and how to protect yourself. And I see with the 7 of Pentacles is like, it's time to start making a plan. It's time to start thinking about what we're going to do here about this. Are we going to get a protective order? Are we going to tuck some money aside so we can eventually move and not ever tell him where we are? Or are we going to start looking into custody arrangements? I mean, I'm just giving examples. You probably have already done this stuff, but basically, 7 of Pentacles talks about like little seeds here and there. It's time to start planting these seeds start making these plans, start getting yourself situated to get out of this situation. You change the locks on your house. If for whatever reason he might have a key, if you haven't done that already. I wouldn't have her grieve something like that. 4-year-old can't understand it. Exactly. Yes, that's what it is. It is a temporary protection order before. Okay. I just hope if he tries this shit again, I will add to it. Abuse happens in many forms. He never signed the birth certificates and he wasn't even there for 3.5 years. So basically, she's yours and you won't ever have to worry about that then. I know that you don't necessarily want to run, and I know that, like, me offering an example or advice, but the problem that I foresee is that he knows where you live, and I just don't want him harassing you. Like, that's what I don't want. I want him to not know where you are. But at the same time, I understand if you choose the desire to want to stay put and not feel like someone's going to allow you, someone's not going to dictate your life and how you live, and you're not going to uproot your whole life just because you're trying to get away from him either. But I will let you know that I'm foreseeing that once he realizes you're serious, he will move on to his next target. He won't be in her life, especially seeing that he will use her in a manipulative way. You are running. Okay. He is weird with bad intentions. He does harass me. He won't stop calling. That's the problem. That's why I was like, look, I don't want to make a decision for you or tell you to do something that you don't want to do. But all I kept hearing in my head was she needs to move. She needs to move. 3 of Wands talk about travel, even talks about traveling or moving abroad. I don't even know if that's like an option for you, but I just keep getting the message of we need to start making that plan. What it was kind of reminding me of is like a mom who is trying to get her kid and herself away from an abusive situation, and she can't do it immediately. She has to make plans for it. So little by little, she's tucking money away. She's like packing stuff like little by little, like essentially to create a plan to really get out and get away from this person. Like that was the energy of this reading with the 7 of Pentacles, is just like start getting that stuff in the work, start getting that process going. Do you have any final questions for this before I move on to Sophie? Okay, what are his intentions? Why is he so focused on me? What are his intentions with I Rise? Why does he hyperfixate on her? Okay, so I Rise. I have, what are his intentions with you? 9 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 8 of Cups, and then, why does he hyperfixate on you? And I have Ace of Pentacles, the Fool, and 10 of Pentacles. So I'm going to just dig into this really quickly. his intentions with you are honestly just to continue to make your life hell. I don't really know how else to say it. You can look up Nine of Swords, Five of Cups, and Eight of Cups, and you will see this is just completely just making your life hell. Leaving you with disappointment. I feel like he's sitting here saying, like, I want to be her burden, give her anxiety, make her life difficult. I think because he feels like he'll have more control over you, the less power you feel like you have in this dynamic, the more he feels he has the power. I see here that he has no intentions of committing to you. I see here that there's a lot of sadness that he intends to put onto this relationship. A terrible combination. Yes, yes, yes. Living with him for the last 6 months was the worst decision. It's been so many skeletons that have come to light. Yeah. Yes, I read Tarot's terrible combination. He thinks because we have a child, he's entitled to me. 100%. 100%. And like, that's the issue, you know. And it's interesting too, because I saw the Seven of Pentacles here and in the last reading, and I didn't even mention that it's like almost like a metaphor for him spreading his seed, so that way he always has some place to go. He always, and the thing is that as long as you let him, he will. That's the thing about energy vampires. They will continue to take and take and take. If as long as you're letting them do that, they will do that. So as far as why is he hyperfixated on you is because he feels like he was getting something out of it. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So that could be money, that could be a home, that could be stability, security that you're offering to him. The Ten of Pentacles indicates that he feels like he was like leeching off of you. And we also have the Fool. So I think that he might have thought that he was fooling you, or he may have thought that you were naive, and he was looking, this is very like narcissistic kind of feeling actually, now that I'm digging into this more. He kind of felt like he could pull the wool over your eyes and that you wouldn't see what he was doing. So because he felt like he was getting something out of this with you and that you weren't doing anything about it, that is why he latched on to you specifically. He said, it's been nothing but lies, other women and burdens, and now he lashes out when I'm like, I'm good. If your intentions are about her, then just focus on that. He rotates all his baby mamas off for. Yes, I should have never opened up my home. That is what it is. His grandma died, and then his mommy has a sob story. It's very narcissistic, I rise, incredibly narcissistic. He's here for himself. Came here not working and still not working. Yeah, that's like, wow, that is like key narcissism, is someone who's not willing to put in the work. So I rise, this is where I'm going to leave you, because I found this nugget of wisdom to be very validating for me in so many ways. And there is a difference between a toxic person and a healthy person. And that difference is, a healthy person says, how can I be of service? How can I serve you? And a toxic person says, how can you serve me? So if you find that this person, which we all know is toxic, is not serving you, or any other person that you meet, a friend, a family member, any of that, if there's no mutual service, there's no mutual investment, that is a toxic person. A toxic person says, how can you serve me? And they will only ever want to be served. They will never want to help you. They will never want to make your life easier. They are here for themselves and themselves only. And that is how you, it's like, and that is a universal rule. It will be like that. It's always been like that, and it will be like that until the end of time. He uses women for a place to stay, and as I see, Saw his phone. I saw the pattern. It was several women, same story. Oh yeah. Type A narcissism. Like, absolutely. We got him out of here. Yeah. So iRise, thank you so much for your donation tonight. I hope you appreciate your reading with me. Stay safe, please. Protect yourself and do what you need to do to get yourself out of the situation. You're so welcome. Thanks for being here. Sorry that you're going through that. All right, Sophie, I'm shuffling for you now. You'll be my last reading of the night, and then I'm going to be signing off for the evening. iRise, you can add on to your reading for sure. My list is closed, but I was saying earlier that, oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever you want to do works for me. I will be on tomorrow night too. I should be on. Okay. Yeah, so did you want to do like a mini reading, iRise? That one is $8. Or you can do in-depth for $13, or you can wait for tomorrow. It's up to you. But if you decide to donate tonight, I'll honor it because you were on my list tonight for donations. Danny Cancer told me he's going to visit me this year. He wants to come because he wants to start a relationship with me. Do you see this happening this year, or is it just another lie? Okay. Sophie. That sounds good, iRise. I'll let you know when I get it. Okay, will Danny come to visit Sophie this year? Will Danny come to visit Sophie this year? Does he want to start a relationship with her, please? Does he want to start a relationship with her? To start a relationship with her. Thanks, iRise. Does he want to start a relationship with her? So, Sophie, this is a very complicated situation, and I'm going to tell you that he is invested in you. I don't know if he's as invested as he thinks that he is. I feel like when the issue with Danny is that his feelings change all the time. He means what he says when he says them, and then he changes his mind. And the problem with someone like this is that they can really get your hopes up, and they can really make you feel like they're here for you and they want you, and they can be really convincing. But their mental state and their just like ability to stay put or settle down or be stable is very much lacking. And it's interesting how you say, like, is this just another lie? Because to me, it almost seems like he never lies, that he really is feeling it very passionately in his heart when he says the things that he says, but then he changes his mind. And that's a big problem. This is giving like very much like wand energy. Someone who just does things when they feel the urge to do them. They're very impulsive. They like make decisions on a whim, and then later they don't follow through. Very like flaky. And it's because in the moment they're feeling that they want to do this thing, and then they change their mind. Then they're leaving you disappointed and not following through with their promises. And it feels like a lie. And I think that's the issue with him, is he's not grounded enough. He's not certain enough in what it is that he wants and what it is that he wants to do. And unfortunately, the power is in his hands because he's making the decisions. And maybe through the connection that you feel for him, you might be allowing this to happen. So I feel like he does intend to want this thing. I have the Four of Cups saying yes. But it is the Four of Cups. So while this is a yes, it is saying you're going to be left with disappointment in some way. While this is a yes, something is not going to work out here the way that you want. I see here with the Five of Pentacles and Temperance is like separation. The situation requiring a lot more patience from you. I also see here with the Three of Cups the desire to reunite with you. And I think that he would come and visit you. I really do. I don't know if a relationship would start because this person's mind changes all the time. Whenever I see tarot readings where it's like a good card, bad card, good card, bad card, good card, bad card, I always feel like this person's emotions are just not grounded enough and there's no telling how the situation is going to turn out. Are you guys at this point like friends? Are you on like a friendship level, or is this like a friends with benefits? Because I'm seeing like a strong theme of friendship here. I'm not seeing romance. I'm seeing that this might be actually harder work than what it's worth. Eight of Pentacles. It feels like we also have the Tower here. Okay, and the Tower indicates like chaos and like unexpected change or unwelcome change, things not going the way that you want. I don't feel very confident in this Danny person, at least right now with the way the energies are in this reading, that you can count on him or that you can rely on him. There is that theme of friendship here, just being acknowledged. So it's difficult because I feel like he means it when he says it. That's where things get complicated. Is that I think he truly believes that he wants this until a week from now when he changes his mind. And that's not a dependable energy. That's not someone who's dedicated to you. Not in the way that you are looking for or wanting for yourself. So I guess to conclude, I think that you can't trust him in what he's saying. Not because he doesn't mean it, but because he doesn't have a lot of follow through. And you can't really rely on him. So you can't trust it. Yeah, I completely get that. And, you know, like I said, you know, to I Rise as well. Or maybe it was someone else. No. Yes. I don't know. It was someone tonight where I said, you know, you kind of have to. Oh, it was Philomena. I was like, you know, you have to kind of see this through. If you feel like that's what's best for you, you have to make that decision for yourself. Sometimes it, you know, someone can tell us something, and if we haven't fully gotten that person out of our system yet, then we're going to continue to see it through. So maybe this is like the last straw for you. But as far as like what I'm getting is, I don't trust this energy, unfortunately. And I think that it's just you're going to be left disappointed in some way with that Four of Cups energy. That's a long time. That's a long time to wait. Thank you, Sophie. You're welcome. Rai, so I'm shuffling for you now. I know that you wanted to ask a question regarding career. So whenever you're ready, just let me know if there's a specific question you want to ask. Rise. I can't tell if you're in here or not. Rise. If you're in here, please check in with me. I have to get going. And I don't want to leave without doing your question, but I might have to if you don't show up. I'm sorry. All right, so we're gonna give Rise just another minute or two. I am gonna have to sign off if she doesn't come back in to post her question. But Rise, if you see this and it's too late and I've already ended my live stream, I will put you first on my list for tomorrow. You are more than welcome. Oh, hey, hi, Rise. Hey there, girl. Hey. Okay, perfect. So, I know that you wanted to get a career reading. I just wanted to check with you if there was a specific career question that you had for me that you would like me to look into for you. All right, let's see. Oh, nice. That's incredible. I thought that you actually, I was hearing that you had already had another job offer or opportunity outside of this one, and I was like trying to recall if that was a reading that we did before, but I was like, she's already got a job offer or something like that. That's what I was hearing. So I was trying to understand if it was this position or if it was a different one. So when you say that you have a lot of different opportunities at once, that's great. I am getting a yes that you will get this offer. We have Wheel of Fortune here. Good luck. That this is kind of your good karma coming back to you to give you this opportunity. Wheel of Fortune is usually a yes for me because it indicates that things are going your way. Is this a position? I'm questioning whether or not to ask this question. Is this a position that's would require you to move to work there? I have the devil. So, and it's in reverse. Release from bondage. Release the chains, essentially. It's making me feel like this is a way that you can get away. You wouldn't have to move. That's so good. All right, well, there's a message here about you being able to get away or feeling like you can get away with this job opportunity. Maybe it's a better benefits or better financial opportunity. Yes, that's a crazy company you had left. It was too unethical. Jeez. It's working in mental health. It's a hybrid. Wouldn't have to move. It would give me more freedom, I assume. That is what it sounds like with the devil in reverse. With it being hybrid and being able to be creative with the clients. I feel like they're not going to want to let this opportunity go without giving you the offer. I double checked with the pendulum as well. Four of Pentacles here indicates to me that they want to hold on to you. They don't want to miss out on an opportunity to offer you the position, and see what your response to that would be before they move on to someone else. So I am feeling like you're at the top of their list. I also see here with the Two of Pentacles, the desire for partnership as well. Feeling like you would be a good fit. Feeling like you would be able to handle the position. I also see partnership with the Lovers as well. I think they're curious but confident in your ability to execute this this role, this position. My oldest daughter's father doesn't support us leaving too far from Maryland, so I've been trying to adapt. Okay, I got you. That's awesome. Yeah, it's talking about a good match with the Lovers as well. It's a good balance, a good fit with the Two of Pentacles. I see here with the Sun, the King of Wands, and the Four of Wands. Is this a position of leadership? If not, this is a place where you might get promoted to leadership. I see that this is a place that you could plant roots, so to speak. You could get really dig your heels into this company. Very positive. You've multiple cards here indicating good luck. This also might make you feel more confident and more pride in what you're doing for a career. It's an educational employment specialist position. So the King of Wands here indicates a level of leadership. So we could look at this one of two ways. Yes, it could be promoting from within and unexpected raise that comes with that, or it could just be that the person in power has their eye on you. They're really looking at you as someone who they're very pleased with their decision. in hiring you. And it could be both, honestly, because if someone's looking at you as a good hire and someone who, you add value to their company, then they're going to want to, if a position becomes available, offer you a promotion. We also have the Four of Wands here. So there's a sense of family or familial type of workplace or workspace. So I think that kind of indicates that you get along with people, and some of them might end up feeling like close friends or family to you. I want to use astrology. Definitely going to be using people's charts to help them. Oh, that's so fun. I love that. That's so cool. I think that's great. So would you be like prospecting essentially? Like, would you be looking for good fits for people? Like, would you be a oh my God, it's a specific word and I can't think of it. Is it like where you find like job opportunities for people that would be a good fit for them? Oh, that's so great. I love that for you. So to conclude your reading, I did get Wheel of Fortune, which indicates to me that luck is on your side. We also have the Sun, positive news and good partnerships here. So I'm feeling like I can take all of that and say yes to you. And I did double check with the pendulum and also got a yes for that question before I pulled any cards. That's awesome. I love that. Very, very cool. Well, Irise, I hope that I'm right, because it sounds like it would be a really good fit for you. I also like the flex, the ability to do a little bit of both, work from home and work there. And I don't know about you, but I love a job that where not every day feels the same, I like to know what I'm doing. I like that, like, consistency and knowing what I'm doing, but I like that added variable of like I'm talking to different people, I'm helping different people, maybe I'm working in a different environment. I don't want every single day to feel the same. And that's what this kind of feels like. So that's really cool. I think you would be great at helping other people and see like their potential. I think that's a great fit for you as well. You're very it's like another word for intuitive, but like I feel like you're just very aware. You oh my God, what is the word? There's like basically they say that there's like 80% of the world population lacks like self-awareness, and I feel like you're in that minority of understanding self-awareness, and then you can also understand like how to help other people. It's interesting to me because you might talk to people, I don't know if you've ever talked to anyone before, where you're like, I don't think this person is self-aware. I don't think they understand how they're acting, how they're being perceived. A lot of times people with no self-awareness might be very like selfish. They might dominate the conversation. They might be very transparent. And it's interesting because there's a lot of people and they might say things that are really offensive but not realize that it's offensive. And it's interesting that the majority of the world doesn't have self-awareness. It's like just a small percentage of people do. He said, Yes, we can make our day and be out in the community. Oh, that's so awesome. I love that. I'm surrounded by mental illness. Might as well do it professionally. I rise. No, you did not just say that. Oh no. Girl, I don't think I've laughed that hard from a comment in a very long time. Oh my God, you are killing me. I'm super aware. I've had so much family trauma and dysfunction growing up. It would be healing to me to help youth and young adults. Yeah, for sure. I love that. I love that you would be using your powers for good. I have Mars in Cancer, Chiron in Cancer, South Node in Cancer. Wow. I don't know if I have any Cancer placements actually, now that I think about it. I'm actually gonna hop off of here though, but I rise. Thank you for that. Thank you for that laugh. Oh my God. That was just too much. Like I was telling my parents, our basket case moving his child's father's added to the list. Yeah, I rise. Actually, I remember you telling me about your parents and how like dysfunctional that whole situation is. And I'm sorry, I did not realize. I guess I didn't put two and two together, but I didn't realize you were also dealing with it with your child's father. So I'm in Aries rising. But I know that Aries and Scorpio mirror each other a lot. Because they say that all of the signs have like a mirrored sign. And I think it's Aries and Scorpio that are very much alike. I'm actually, since you know about astrology, I am Aries rising, Taurus moon, and Gemini sun. So my big three are the first three signs of the zodiac in order. So I found that very interesting, which, as you know, means that all of my houses have natural placements. So my rising is Aries, so it's going to start the wheel there, which is the natural placement for all of the houses. I don't know a lot about astrology, but I've learned a good amount to like have the basic understanding of it. That's so amazing. Yes, they're both ruled by Mars. Okay, that would make sense. You know a lot about astrology. I don't. Oh, that's so cool. I'm Gemini rising, Taurus sun. Whoa, that's so great. So we're kind of similar, but in like different ways. Yeah, that would be, wouldn't that be wild though if I was a Scorpio rising? That would be so crazy. We would just have like all of them in different placements. You love Gemini energy. Thank you. I must say, I love Gemini energy too. I definitely identify very strong. You read me like a book. Yeah. It's kind of crazy too. Um, I've always identified with, so it's funny. I gotta get going, but I'll leave it here. I never really resonated with my name. So my name is Amanda, and I've never really felt in alignment with that name. And actually, my whole name, I've never really felt in alignment. I did with my last name, that was my maiden name. I felt more alignment with my last name than my first name. But when it comes to my birthday, like, because my birthday is on June 1st, my birthday and my sun sign, I've always felt at home there. Like, that has always felt very much me. And so I found it interesting. It's like, what's in a name? And a name is really important. Why would I resonate with my birthday and my sun sign so strongly, but not my name? It's always been something that I've wondered about myself. He said, yes, you're reading me like a book. You did an amazing job. It's your season now. It's your birthday's almost here. I know. I'm so indifferent to it. I love my birthday. Really excited. I've always enjoyed my birthday. I've always enjoyed my season for sure. But at the same time, like getting older, you know what I mean? And I just feel like I'm like against the clock over here. Because we just, we got married in November, and now like I'm thinking about planning and having kids and stuff like that. And so it's like every time I turn a new age, I always feel like my biological clock is ticking, but I know I shouldn't feel that way, but I do. But thank you so much for saying that. Thank you. Thank you. Um, it's interesting because you're in a different place than I am. It's like you have what I want, but it's not the right thing for you, and it's interesting. Life is just so interesting that way, that everyone's going through their own thing. They're all experiencing different things. It's crazy. That's a huge step. Glad you did it the right way. My life could be a movie. You should make it a movie. That's what you should do. You should make it a movie. Write a book and make it a movie. Right, right. Girl, look, that's how some people get paid. That's honestly how some people get paid. So, and it might be like, it could be a safety net for you if you got yourself like on camera like that. I know you probably are like just joking, but it would allow for people to, I guess what I'm trying to say is like when you're on a reality show, you'll have like production step in if anything gets really risky or dangerous. And so it like might be a way to like protect yourself and make money at the same time. Well, people make so much money on reality TV. It just like depends on if you want to put yourself out there like that. But honestly, I'm not going to yuck someone else's yum, and I think that that is a very lucrative way to get yourself some fun, some residual income. But if you're a private person, obviously that wouldn't work. But I rise, I'm sorry, I don't mean to rush off of here, but I do have to get going. But it was really nice chatting with you tonight for sure. Yeah, yeah, I know. But as I was saying earlier, sometimes you have to just see things through. You have to get situations out of your system, and then you'll know for sure. But someone can tell you one thing, but it's really up to you to kind of be at that last straw place. No one can really rush you to get there. You have to get there yourself. But you're so welcome. Maybe I'll see you later this week. I hope you have a great rest of your night, okay? See you later.